Alrighty, this is another dummy for muscle practical. We're going to go ahead and get a head start. Notice right over here, this is going to be your orbicularis oculi. Orbicularis oculi around your eye. Around your lip will be your orbicularis oris. So we have oculi, oris. Above the lip, and below the eyelid, this little section right there, it's going to be your levators. That's your levator labii superioris. Just outside your levators, under the zygomatis area, just gave you the answer for that one. That's going to be your zygomatis that helps you smile. Okay, now this gap right over here you see right there actually has them on both sides, gap part, and also in the other side gap part. That's going to be your buccinators, compressus cheek. Below right over here underneath your lips, just a tad outside, let's say around number 18 area. I mean, there's two different sections, but it's actually on your pages asking for this one right over here. It's going to be on both sides, so don't get confused. That's going to be your depressor anguli oris. Moving along to the lateral side, this section right here, which is attached to your mandible and your zygomatis, is going to be your masseter. You do have it also this side in case you want to look at both sides. Masseter, think of jaw, masseter. Or now that we're actually right up here, this will be your temporalis. So your temporalis and your masseter both closes jaw. Back to the front part, your frontalis. So it'd be epicranus frontalis, also known as your frontal belly. Frontal belly's not on the list, so just put epicranus frontalis. Sternocleidoid, your big fat muscle that's going to rotate and tilt your head. Sternocleidoid, this is your fatty. You cannot miss that one. That's the only one that does stand out. Back, I'm showing you in two different angles. Sternocleidoid. Alrighty, here's another one right over here. This is going to be your omohyoid. The only muscle, small thin muscle going the opposite direction from your sternocleidoid. Right there. Starts at 26, goes all the way down. And one thing, I know I'm using numbers to help you narrow it down, but you really don't want to use numbers. Because in real life, when you're looking at the actual human body, the numbers do not exist. So this would give you a general idea where to look at, though. These muscles right over here are your scalenes. They're actually both different sides. Your scalenes are in different sides. Now, on the list, it's kind of hard to identify, but on your muscles of the trunk, it also shows your scalene. It's easy to identify in the bigger head muscle in lab class. It's the opposite direction of your sternocleidoid mastoid. It's going to be your levator scapulae. So remember that one. It's going to be the opposite direction of your sternocleidoid mastoid. That's going to be your levator scapulae. And so we have identified the omohyoid, the oculi, oris, levators, zygomatis outside, your buccinators, gaps right over here, your masseters, attached to the jaw and your zygomatis, your depressor anguli, your sternocleidoid, omohyoid, scalenes, your traps. And then back the opposite direction, I'll say number 31 would be your levator scapulae. It's not the same as your levator labii superioris. Scapulae, levator scapulae is going to be right down there. Now, the biggest catch about your traps, trapezes, they actually go all the way down your back, big sheet. Looks like a kite. That would be your levator. Again, it's early in the morning, so this would actually be your trapezes. Looks like a kite, so they go all the way down. Since we're already actually up here, this would be your deltoids. Deltoids. Remember, underneath the deltoid would be your infra, your supra. Behind the deltoids would be your traps, biceps, triceps brachii. Triceps brachii. Again, I apologize. Early in the morning. Triceps brachii. We have now your rhomboid majors. Rhomboid majors. This other sheet right over here, you see, that's going to be your latimus dorsi. Latimus dorsi. For those, also on the sheet I did find was your erector splenius. It's going to be internal, but it's going to start right over here. It goes up. So if you see a dot right there, that's going to be your erector splenius. Buttocks. Gluteus maximus. Gluteus maximus. If you remove the buttocks, right, just a tad above would be your gluteus medius, and that's where you get your shots. Those that are familiar with the big fat shots. Alrighty, now we're looking at the bicep femoris. One must understand that the bicep femoris, for you to easily to identify that, it's going to be always lateral. Lateral bicep femoris. Lateral bicep femoris. So depending on which leg you get, remember bicep femoris is always going to be lateral. Semitendinosus would be medial. Underneath the semitendinosus will be your semimembranous. So outside semitendinosus, inside would be your semimembranous. If you look at this little section right here, that would be your abductor magnus. Abductor magnus. That's going to be in your posterior view. This long strip you see right up here, that's going to be your gracilis. Your gracilis, you'll be able to see it a lot better once I flip it around the other side. Big fat calves.